Welcome to your feature presentation. Today we talk about Alien 3, the assembly cut, the superior movie.
We also talk about how much I hate Quentin Tarantino.
Which is wild. We're getting into that. That's insane to me. And we're also going to show a little bit of love for Project Hail Mary. Here we go. You've had a baby. That's why we took a hiatus.
Yeah, dude.
I felt bad because we forgot to tell people about the hiatus, but it was kind of like oh yeah, we're about to take a break, and then the break just started. So it was just kind of like, okay. But so yeah, congratulations on the new little buddy.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it feels good. We're at maximum capacity now. 2 kids, 2 adults, and it's going great. We're trying to convince him that sleeping at nighttime is a really good decision.
Yeah,
but it always takes a few months to do that. So we'll get there eventually.
like I don't buy it.
No.
Oh, don't you just take a
lying to me.
nap when the sun is hitting your face? It's so nice.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Warm and sweaty.
What a warm and sweaty. I feel like I'm having trouble too. So my other podcasts have continued, and I'm like, unfortunate cookies mode or interview mode. I'm like, this is different. This is the OG pod, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do I remember how to talk on this pod?
Don't
don't
you
know.
dare interview me.
So, like, how did that make you feel?
I
No,
mean,
I'd
the
love
delivery
to-
process, so easy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that more people don't do it. I didn't ask my wife about it, which is weird, and she hasn't really talked to me a lot, but
Yeah,
I'm sure
fair.
that's no problem.
I'm sure she'll come around again.
Yeah.
Start talking and stuff. So you've been watching anything good? Anything
Oh, brother.
psyching you up?
I've got a lot of time at night just with the baby, especially those first 3 weeks. I took 3 weeks off work. So I watched all the Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh, beautiful.
And I'm going to be honest, not a huge fan anymore.
What?
I watched a lot of the weird ones, and I was like, this sucks. I don't like this. So,
Really? Hot take.
it was a really weird experience. I guess my hot take is that I don't like Quentin Tarantino as much as I used to.
Interesting. So maybe you had seen the ones that you're like, oh, I like these a lot. But then seeing his more expanded movies, you didn't like him as much, so it kind of like lessened your view?
Yeah, so the peak for me is Kill Bill 1 and 2, Django Unchained. My favorite Tarantino movie is The Hateful Eight because it's so slow and like nothing happens for 3 hours. For some reason, I really like that. That's the peak for me. And I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood over my paternity leave, and I thought, this movie sucks. I did not like it at all. Why was Margot Robbie in it? There's no point.
Hey, you don't need an excuse. Just put
She
her in
was
there.
just pregnant. Like she had one conversation. Sorry, I hit the mic. She had one conversation with DiCaprio's character at the end of the movie. And that was it.
Yeah.
She didn't even look at Brad Pitt. Come on. Yeah, so that was like the start of the decline, and I watched Death Proof, and that was freaking weird.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I'm okay. I'm
That's
all right.
interesting. You didn't mention Inglourious Bastards, and that's my favorite.
That was my intro to Tarantino, and I did rewatch it. I still really, really like it. But I think as a director, now that I've seen all of his movies, I pick up on the large themes that he has.
Yeah.
And I'm not really into feet, so I can't really relate to it, you know?
Yeah. Well,
so, do you ever notice that? Because you didn't have a reaction to me saying that.
Well, repeat it again.
Like, there are so many bare feet in Tarantino movies.
Yeah. I mean, this is known. A lot of people make this claim.
I know, but like, have you seen Death Proof with Kurt Russell?
Oh, I've seen everyone.
I think the opening shot is toes. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here, brother?
It's a thing.
So
people have their things. It's something I've never understood. I think it's quite odd. But hey, He's a foot guy.
That's it's just weird. Yeah, but this I will say that there are still movies by him that I do really like. I do really
Hmm.
enjoy. But overall,
It's crazy to me. I feel like we just need to really unpack that.
all
Cause
right.
so okay, so the ones you like, Kill Bill, Hateful Eight. Where are you ranking
Django
those?
Unchained.
Like,
As far as Tarantino total ranking?
no, just like, oh, I love that movie, or it's like it's good, but
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm trying to
I would
gauge
say
like, do you hate Tarantino, or you think he's mid, or is it
I
just
think
like
he's
those
I think
outliers?
Tarantino is overhyped. I think Tarantino is
Okay.
overhyped. I wouldn't call him mid because he's a much better director than most directors. Most
Because I'm
people, I guess.
curious. I'm curious if you're just like, I just don't really care for him that much, or you loved certain movies of his, but then you watch the ones that you're like, this lessened the director for me because I really don't like those movies. Does that make
Yeah, they're
sense?
high highs and low lows.
Yeah. Would you say
Yeah.
that though? Like, you like
Yes,
Hateful Eight?
yeah.
Like, do you
If
love Hateful Eight, or are you
I
like,
love Hateful Eight. I watch Hateful
okay,
Eight once a year.
okay,
Yeah, I watch Hateful Eight
I
a lot. I watch the extended like almost 4 hour cut of Hateful Eight.
yeah,
And so that is an extreme love, but things like Death Proof really ruin it for me. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I didn't like it. I think non-action, like he did that Western Hateful Eight really well. He does uh, the vibe of Django Unchained really well, which is also Westerny. I really liked his World War II vibe that he had for Inglourious Bastards. I think the best Tarantino alone, he's not doing a cool era of history or something like that. Just Tarantino writing a script and directing a movie. Jackie Brown was really good.
hmm,
I think that's his strongest uh just straight up there's no interesting place that we are. We are just in a city and here's a story that you could track and follow along. Weird in Jackie Brown. Have you seen it?
yeah,
Yeah, weird in Jackie Brown that he got so many A-list actors to do meaningless roles. But then the more I watched of his movies, I was like, oh, you do this a lot. You do this all the time.
yeah.
Like Al Pacino, what a joke of a role in pretty much every Tarantino movie. And he just, Tarantino.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, I think that's just so funny. So,
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I mean, like I said, that derails me, and I feel like we need to dive into that. We were gonna have a Tarantino ranked episode. We've been promising. We'll do that someday. Um, but so interesting. So like even like Reservoir Dogs, like you're not into that.
that's fine. That's okay. I think Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs over the years have dropped lower and lower on
Oh.
my interest in them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think I will say this too because I feel like I disagree with you because I think he's an awesome director and writer. But I will give you some of them are super weird. I'm surprised you didn't like Death Proof because to me, I mean I love Kurt Russell. I'm such a
I
big
also
fan,
love Kurt Russell. Yeah.
and I feel like Death Proof is kind of his weird like slasher offshoot thing. You know, it's kind of his horror thing, and I'm such a big fan of horror movies, so I'm surprised that didn't get you kind of like the parody slasher, I guess.
The first section of Death Proof really got me. I loved it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I loved it. I liked it and I was interested. The second half lost me. I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, uh the kill you with my stunt car cuz I'm stuntman Mike shtick didn't land the second time. I would have rather they prolonged that first interaction.
Yeah.
More lead up to the bar in the beginning and then more of a payoff, a longer kind of pursuit at the end. I think that would have been better.
Hmm.
Uh, but
And I'm
who cares?
also I will go on board too. I think Hateful Eight. I still think Kill Bill is maybe my favorite of his.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
Glorious Bastards is so good, but it's so different than his other stuff. But then I will agree. I think Hollywood has a lot of great character moments, like amazing, like just this actor in this situation doing something.
Yeah.
And I think the whole thing is just like it's a build up and then a payoff at the end. And I think that ending fight is so satisfying. But I fully understand that like it's meandering. It's just kind of like a Hollywood
But I'm
story,
but yeah, but I'm okay with meandering because I'll sit through 4 hours of the Hateful Eight of the same story told 3 different times in different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
So I think my issue with Hollywood was maybe I was expecting the level of action that he'd been doing in years recent. Kill Bill, Inglorious, Hateful Eight towards the end. There's a lot of action there. And even Death Proof. I think I watched Death Proof before Hollywood. And there's a violent conclusion to that movie. There's kind of 2 huge violent conclusions to those arcs in Death Proof. And Hollywood was a bit of lackluster for me. The best part of the fight scene, I think, was Brad Pitt just absolutely housing that dude in the head with a can of dog food.
Yeah.
I loved that. That was hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just had the wrong lenses on. But for you to say that you really like Hollywood that's fine, and that makes sense to me. I think the
Yeah.
character moments I should have paid more attention to. And maybe it'll be a rewatch later because you told me that they're making a sequel or prequel.
It wasn't clear to me. I believe it's a Cliff Booth story. So it's Brad Pitt's character.
Yeah.
But it's being it's written Tarantino and it's directed by David Fincher of Alien 3
that's right.
fame.
Yeah. He hasn't directed a movie since Alien 3 actually.
Yeah, it was kind of like a pop up and then he was gone, but
Yeah.
I still think that's one of my most like satisfying jokes. It's like, oh yeah, David Fincher, famous for Alien 3,
Yeah.
which I do want to talk about Alien 3. Maybe this would be a good segue to do that real
Let's
quick.
do it. Yeah.
But real quick, as we wrap up Tarantino and your shocking revelation that he's mid. I believe that's what you said. So
it is what I said, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, here, you want to say it once more time for safety?
I think Tarantino is overrated, and I hate to feel that way.
All right, clipping it. And no, okay. So the ranch, they go to like the stunt ranch where they shot a lot of like old Westerns, like the characters in the movie, Cliff Booth, like they used to work at this ranch, and they show up there and it's been taken over by the killer.
Austin Butler.
Yeah. So no, that's what I was going to bring up is there's so many famous actors in that one scene that it's crazy. Yes. Austin Butler is Tex. Mikey Madison is one of the people. Sydney Sweeney's in it.
Sweeney's in it.
Margaret Qualley is in it. The one I'm forgetting, it's Maya Hawke. Ethan Hawke and
oh yeah.
Yeah, Kill Bill's it's their daughter. Anyways, but so like all these people have just like little bit roles that are like in this scene. And it's just like, who is this casting director that was like, yeah, they'll be somebody like extremely soon. I mean, Stranger Things, obviously, like Austin Butler stuff. Like so many of these people are like Oscar winners now. Like Mikey Madsen and like Margaret Qualley are just like headlining movies like so quickly after this. Like, I don't know. That's just nuts to me.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Alien 3, David Fincher's magnum opus.
Yes. I also want that to be a clip. David Fincher. Okay, so did you watch the assembly cut?
I did, yeah.
I really liked it.
Same.
So it's Alien 3. There's an assembly cut for those who don't know. And it popped up on like HBO, which I love how like streaming services are doing this. Like these are the things that you used to only get from like DVDs or like you had to buy that specific one. And I feel like now streaming services, like, HBO has like the original theatrical release and extended editions of all the Lord of the Rings movies. And I think that's really cool they're doing that because I think there's a lot of fun ways to do that. But the assembly cut, this is a was it a David Fincher cut? Because it's not a director's cut.
Yeah, there was some other reason that they called it assembly cut. Um, I think it had to do with the other directors that were involved in the project before he got there.
Yeah.
So early shooting for the movie happened, I believe, without him. So it's not necessarily director's cut because some of the things that made it into the special edition weren't David Fincher things. But my heart of hearts tells me this is David Fincher's preferred method to watch Alien 3. I don't know if that's true.
Hmm.
David, if you're listening, give me a call. Return
Okay.
my call. I've been
Okay.
calling you a lot actually, and I would appreciate you responding. It's a little embarrassing, but
Yeah,
let
he
me know.
blocked me on Instagram, but
Oh,
I was trying.
I'm
So
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the assembly cut, I think it was way better, to be honest.
Totally agree.
I think it's not. I feel bad because David Fincher, we joke about it, but like this was the time, and he is not a big director, and I think Alien 3 is a great example of like just studio over involvement. They like just like all that they talk about, like just the assembly cut versus the theatrical cut is so clearly focused on make it more like Aliens,
Yeah.
which Aliens was a great movie, but this was a different movie. And I'm like, do you remember the thing? It's like a throwaway line in Alien 3. They say, "Yeah, we have a lice problem here, so we're going to shave you." You know.
Yeah.
Um in the movie, the assembly cut, the complete opening scene is different. Like this is a different
Yeah.
movie. And
Yes.
Sigourney Weaver washes to shore, which is also new. The ship crashes kind of in water, and then her body like washes up to shore, and it's covered in lice. Like this is like a disgusting infestation. And so they're like, no,
Yeah.
we have to clean you. We have to cut you shave your head. And I'm like, they never even like showed this. Like this was such a thing in this cut. And so they were all like, even just the process of like, yep, everyone's got to be clean shaven. When we have limited resources, so anything that gets killed, like livestock, has to be pulled in and like prepped for like we're gonna either
Mm-hmm.
eat it or we have to burn it because of all the lice and all this kind of stuff. There's like crazy stuff, and that the biggest standout to me about this assembly cut is that it's an ox that gets infected from a face hugger
Yes.
and not a dog that we see. And it makes so much
So
more
cool.
sense. The fact that like when we cut to the guy who's cleaning by the fans
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Hey, what is down there? Is that our dog?" I don't remember the dog's name, but he's like, "Hey, buddy, is that you?" And it's like it makes so much more sense to me that they're like, "Well, the dog's running around here somewhere."
Right.
"Oh, is that thing over there him?" It's like, "No, that's the frickin' alien." But if you take away that it's the ox, you're like, "Oh no, that is the dog because we saw the dog die." And I don't know, it's just such a better twist to be like, "Wait, is that our dog?" No, it's a new thing, as opposed to like, no, we see it was a dog get destroyed, become an alien. Um, they catch the alien first, like they all work as a
Yeah.
crew, and then there's
Literally
this,
so much better.
yeah, and they're like methodical, and they're like, we gotta trap it, we can do this, and then the plan works, but then this religious zealot is like worshiping the alien. Was it
Dude.
garlic?
Yes.
And he releases it. And I'm like, this is such a better movie.
Oh my gosh. All right. Listen. The assembly cut, I'm glad you mentioned all those things. The
Yeah.
assembly cut elevated Alien 3 for me so much
Mm-hmm.
that it is now like it's back up. I don't know, I haven't rearranged my ranking yet, but this is no longer a bad movie. This is no longer a guilty pleasure because it completes the trilogy in my brain of alien movies that shift genres and they do it expertly. So, Alien, horror, all of these are horror movies, right?
Yes.
But they're all subgenres that are different. So, Alien is isolation, feminist horror, one person, one alien at the end. It's suspenseful. There's a lot of auditory stuff. It's drawn out. right? There's no heart-pounding action sequences. It's all like fingernails clenched into your legs kind of sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens is an action adventure, literally military comes in and shoots up hundreds and hundreds of aliens. There's blood splattering everywhere. It just takes it to the next level in a different genre. It doesn't try to be the isolation, no one can hear you scream in space movie. It does the alien thing in a different way, and that's what keeps it fresh and entertaining and exciting. Still a horror movie, action adventure, shooter, military operation. Alien 3 Assembly Cut is what the series, the final episode of the trilogy needed. Another genre shift. We have this religious cult of zealots on a prison planet. So there's some aspect of I'm stuck here. We have to form like a prison break out of this place if I want to get out of here. But mostly, it's so much more interesting that she finds herself not by herself and not in a militaristic group of people, but a religious cult. And those three all together are like the Holy Trinity, are just a perfect trifecta of Ripley's story in my mind.
Yeah.
It's expert. It's really, really well done.
It's
So
such, I think it's,
yeah.
yeah, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm totally vibing with you because it sucks because we can't call it a trilogy because we got a fourth one so quickly and we have many more. Like even Sigourney Weaver has 4 movies. Like I wish she
Yeah.
had stopped at 4, but I'm so glad we have more Alien movies. And I think Alien 4 is such a guilty pleasure for me because that movie
That's
is
the one.
crazy. And you can tell even Alien Romulus, you can tell that director really enjoys Alien Resurrection. Like he totally takes stuff from that, like the great homage, like the ending creature. But yeah, Alien, Sigourney Weaver gets attacked by this crazy creature. The second one, no one believes her, but she's like, we need to go save these people from these creatures. That's how bad they are.
Yeah.
They go with the army, military people, and they get destroyed. And it's like, these are terrible. And then at 3, she's like, we have to, like, I have an alien inside me. The only way to end the cycle is ending myself. Like, she is so true to the character of like, what is this thing? This is bad. And then second one, this is terrible. Everyone needs to know about this. Third one, no one's listening to me, but I can end it. And I'm like, what a cool like sacrifice to be like, no, she believes it. You know, it's the other guys, the military that's always like, we got to use this for weapons development.
Right. Extract the alien. That's her experience of, I have the alien inside of me. I know what is right, and I have to sacrifice in order to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Is beautifully paired with the religious cult, because they essentially sacrificed themselves. They didn't take that free pass off the planet. They stayed because they thought it was the right thing to do. And those two existing at the same time in the same spaces is very interesting. It adds to the dynamics of all of them because there's some sort of shared conviction. So they're all high intensity, right? The guy with the glasses who she's getting assaulted and he stops them and he goes, "Get out of here. I got to do some discipline for my brothers," and just beats the crap out of them. Just lets them have it. Like that's the level that everyone has in that whole prison planet, and it's awesome.
Yeah. No, and yeah, Dylan, which is that character, has a lot more screen time in this movie.
Yeah,
in
he's very
this assembly
good.
cut. It's, I don't know. To me, I am not huge on like Blade Runner lore. I've seen it, but I know a lot of people who are super into that, way more than I am, that have strong opinions on what cut, what director's cut, what, character cut, all that stuff. I get it, but I'm also like, I'm just not that hardcore into it. I don't have that strong of an opinion. I will go out on such a limb and say assembly cut is so much better, so superior. Like there is no debate here. It is just a better movie. And it's clear when you watch it, this was the movie that was meant to be, like it's, you
or at
can
least
cut
it was close to the original intention.
Very true.
Yeah.
And it's sad because David Fincher is a great director. I feel like if you would just let him do his thing, it would have been better. If you had just stuck to the original plan, it would have been better. But I think it was just kind of like, well, this is what we have. Let's cut around it. Let's make it, when in doubt, make it more like Aliens. And which is so crazy to me too, because like Aliens was the deviation at that point. Like Alien started it and was so different. And then, but then Aliens changed it and was so good. So yeah.
My last thought before we wrap up, my last thought about Alien Assembly Cut is that the main issue people have with Alien 3 is usually how they brush over Newt and that Ripley's character gets over it really weirdly fast in the theatrical version of Alien 3.
Yeah.
In the assembly cut, you have literally, I timed it, you have 30 minutes of her anguish. Start of the movie, it's 30 minutes before you can see her starting to get over it. And that feels more appropriate. Everything that she does from the time she wakes up on the planet is oriented around where is Newt? How can I get her? Is she okay? She's gone. Why is she gone? I have to find out. And she goes through the grieving process of Newt dying on screen, like actually goes through it, and we can see it. The burial section of the movie is way more impactful in the assembly cut than it is Alien 3. So it's just, even for that, if you didn't like Alien 3 because of what they did with Newt, watch the assembly cut because it's done so much better.
Yeah, it's so good, and I think you're right too. It feels like they actually care. It's a weird move in general because we end with Bishop, Newt, Hicks, and Ripley, and it's weird that they just cut off 3 of those characters. Like Bishop comes back, but it's just that's a weird move in general, which I feel like is so like studio involvement. They're like, we want to get back to the, and it's like continue these stories, or at least like have Sigourney Weaver be separated. Like, I don't know what happened to those people. I just woke up in the escape pod that crashed on this planet. Like, and then you can bring them back later, you know? I don't know, but that's my thought there. All right. So we're going to wrap up. This is going to be a shorter episode, but real quick, because this is more time sensitive because it's been out for a bit. Project Hail Mary. You were not able to see it yet?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay. I just want it to be on the podcast because it's important, because it's there. It is so good. My word, is it so good. Book adaptions, I would rate it very high. And yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, I think you've probably seen Project Hail Mary already. So I just want to like shout it out. And I also want to be like, Andrew, I know you haven't been able to see it, so I hope you see it soon. I wish that upon you.
I want to see it so bad. I think it came out the week of our baby's birth.
Yeah,
so just haven't made the time. I've heard only good things about it. The book is one of my favorite sci-fi books ever. It's incredible. So I'm really, really excited.
So good. And end of my Project Hail Mary. We'll talk about it someday when you've watched it, but one of my favorite moments. So our buddy Andrew Clark, who's been on a couple episodes, unfortunately he had hurt his knee, so he had to have surgery. So he was actually in a wheelchair in the theater for Project Hail Mary, and he had like that specific spot for the wheelchair to go up so he can prop up his leg and all that kind of stuff. My favorite moment, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I think you're in my seat." I don't care if anybody thinks that funny. I was like, perfect joke. Joke land.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Well, Andrew, glad to have you back. Why don't you take us home?
Oh, it's so good to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. As always, you can find us anywhere you get podcasts. Look us up on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and give us a follow. Follow along with us, whether it's clips posted from the pod or new and different topics that we're posting on our socials. Comment, engage in conversation, and that's not only a way to help us grow the channel, but a way for us to actually have more fun when it's not just Heath and I talking. So follow us on those places, and as always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie. Oh, like as the song is like trailing off, you're like turning up the volume.
I go, no, more.
Give me more song.
I was a lot like Kylo Ren from...
More!
More! More!
More.